constrictor. No, Dinah, not here in the room. Just in this book. See? It's about exotic animals. Not dogs and cats, but animals that are unusual. You know, strange, different, or from some faraway place. See, this book is about animals like lizards, monkeys, and parrots. Gee, I wonder what it would be like to have an animal like that around the house. Well, I think about it. I know a place where everything is exotic.
Hold on to your seat, let's go for a ride. Now that we're here on the other side. Use your imagination and you'll understand. It's an adventure in Wonderland. Every day is something new, with music, rhyme, and a dance or two. It's a curious place with a wonderful crew, and you're never quite sure what they will do. Use your imagination, you'll understand. It's an adventure in Wonderland. Adventure in Wonderland. Adventure in Wonderland.
You see, Alice, Better Palaces and Gardens magazine is very particular about which palace and garden they put on their cover. Right, Rabbit?
Oh, right, Your Majesty, yes. Very particular.
So if I want them to pick my palace and garden for this month's issue, everything must be letter perfect. Right, Rabbit?
Oh, yes, Your Majesty. Letter perfect. Tip-top, ship-shape.
And if I have to put up one more month of them showing the palace and the gardens of the Queen of Diamonds or the Queen of Spades or especially the Duchess, I won't be pleased. Right, Rabbit?
Yes, Your Majesty. Very fuzzy. Fussy. Not pleased. Most unhappy. We're talking a real crab apple.
Well, my room is never this neat. I don't know how you do it, Mr. Rabbit.
Oh, simple, Alice. It's all right here in my handy booklet, Rabbit's Happy Household Hymns.
Look how the floors, they shine and shine. How do you keep this all in line?
There is a secret I devised. It's in this book here on page number 5.
You keep the palace so, so shiny. From where it's big to where it's tiny. There's not an inch of it that's grimy.
I've always had a natural skill to dust and clean. It gives me a thrill. I am supremely versatile.
The palace windows gleam and gleam. You've made these windows really beam.
First I scrape them with a scraper, rub them with soap and then again with newspaper.
It's fun to keep the palace shiny. From where it's big to where it's tiny. There's not an inch of it that's grimy.
I've always had a natural skill to dust and clean. It gives me a thrill. I am supremely versatile.
Well, all I know is there can't be one thing out of place when the photographer from the magazine shows up later today. Egad! Where did this come from?
What's that? Oh, that. You bought that last year, don't you remember, Your Majesty? Actually, I was wondering when you were going to notice how tacky this is.
Not the vase! I mean the plant.
Oh, that. That belongs to my cousin Kudzu.
Oh, what a strange plant.
Yes, it is exotic looking, isn't it? It's called a creeping twiny vine.
Creeping? It should be called creepy. Anyway, what's your cousin's plant doing in my palace?
Well, actually, Your Majesty, I'm plant sitting for him for a couple of days. I thought this would look lovely here next to the throne.
What?
No.
Not only does it give me the heebie-jeebies, but this is a red-only room. No blue flowers ever. Now get it out of here.
But, Your Majesty, this is a very expensive plant. It needs careful and constant care. Why, just look at this enormous book of instructions.
Instructions? Don't you just give plants plenty of sunshine and water?
Oh, no, Alice. Why, my cousin Kudzu specifically told me not to water this plant and not to give it any plant food. It says so right here on page 43, paragraph 5.
Oh, come on, Bunny, that can't be right. I water my catnip garden every day.
This plant is not common catnip, Cat. Why, it says right here not to give this plant any plant food and only to give it a tiny drop of water once a month. Otherwise, yes.
Whoa, so that's what happens if you ignore the instructions. That's a pretty particular plant, all right.
Hey, what is this, a garden club meeting? Damn it, get somebody else to take care of that thing. And as for you, Cat,
Yes?
I want you out of here.
But I want to be here when the photographer comes. Please.
Tough tootsies, Kitty. The Queen does not want you ruining her palace pictures.
Ruining? Well, that's not nice. I thought the last picture I was in turned out lovely.
Well, it's interesting.
It's awful. Now scat, Cat.
Yes, you and your smile aren't wanted here.
Talk about crabby! I would think you'd want an extra smile around here.
Not the usual houseplant, Rabbit. In fact, it's quite unusual. Un being a prefix, meaning not, of course.
Of course, and you're right. This is no ordinary plant. It's extraordinary. Extra being a prefix, meaning more than, of course.
I just hope it's non-violent. Non being a prefix, meaning it won't bite me.
Oh, of course not. I say, Hatter, I want you to promise me that you won't give it any water or plant food and that you'll read all of these instructions.
Don't worry, I've got a way with greenery. In fact, I've got one houseplant that's 20 years old, and it's as pretty and green as the day I bought it. Show him here.
Really? My word. Good heavens, look at why that's... I say that's... Excuse me, this plant is plastic.
How true that is.
Do you think I could have a cutting?
Now run along, Rabbit, and don't you worry your little bunny head about a thing.
Well, you're sure you'll read all of those directions, you promise?
Of course I'll read them. One of these days. I mean, come on, I've got a stack of library books this high to read before I'll get around to this thing.
You know, it's an interesting plant, but if you ask me, it looks a little droopy.
Why not give it a little water?
Oh, we couldn't. Rabbit specifically said not to. Still, I'd hate to see it shrivel up on us.
Oh, good point. Besides, all plants like water, right?
That's right.
Oh, why not?
Wow, he's a thirsty little guy.
Hey, speaking of thirsty, how about some tea? Oh, if your stomach's growling, have a crumpet.
Good advice. I'll keep it in mind in case I get hungry later.
I have a growing sense that something's happening here. Hair, has this plant grown or is it just me?
I don't know. Let's check. Nope, you haven't grown at all. It must be the plant.
Amazing! You know, I have to admit, I didn't think much of this plant at first, but it's looking better.
I know. In a way, it grows on you.
Yeah.
When I first saw this funny vine, I wasn't impressed by its design.
I know what you mean, but now that I've seen what a little bit of water can do for the green, it grows on you. It's looking much nicer, it grows on you. Why, it's at least twice the size it was, all because of us.
A magic touch is what we've got. This plant must like us both a lot.
Yeah, I guess it really needed that water bad. Now it looks happy before it looks sad. It grows on you. It's looking much nicer. It grows on you. Why, it's at least twice the size it was. All because of us. All because of us.
Speaking of growing, this vine has grown too big for this little pot.
Yeah, it's outgrown it, all right. Say, why don't we take it to the Wonderland plant store? We could take it out of this little pot, then plant it again in a larger one.
You mean replant it? Great idea!
As well as a great prefix.
Here we go, pitch it right in here, put a little pepper on it now.
What luck! I was just thinking of grabbing a little snicky snack.
Excuse me, have you guys seen an apple fly by? Hey, brother, check out the weird plant.
It is exotic, isn't it? It's a creeping, twiny vine. We're taking care of it for the rabbit.
It's very special. In fact, it comes with all these instructions.
You read that whole book?
Actually, we're waiting for the movie to come out.
Hey, in the meantime, we're taking it to the Wonderland plant store for a new pot.
What a coincidence. We were going to the plant store to buy clippers to prune our apple tree.
We can get a pot while we're there.
Well, why not? Okay, here. Now, we've already given the little guy a drink, and he's been out for his walkies.
Just make sure he's home by 10. It is a school night.
Well, let's get to the plant store.
Wait, before you do that, did you hear that the Queen's Palace might be on the cover of a magazine?
You mean Better Palaces and Gardens?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, they haven't picked her palace once.
Maybe the Queen's luck will change if she has an exotic plant in her palace.
What a great idea! We'll tell her you suggested it, Cat.
No, don't do that. I'd like it to be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
And one more thing. The plant looks a little droopy. You might want to give it some of this.
Plant food. Well, I guess it couldn't hurt.
Wait, do you think we should check the instructions to make sure it's okay to give it plant food?
Come on, you guys know how to take care of a silly little plant, don't you?
Cat's right, brother. All plants need plant food.
Well, okay. What could possibly go wrong?
Ooh-wee, now that is one fine twiny vine.
It was really nice of the cat to suggest we put it in here. The queen will be so surprised.
Well, let's put the rest of this stuff behind the throne.
Wait, didn't the cat say we should give it some of that plant food?
Right, I forgot. Here.
Hey, it likes this stuff.
It must be hungry. Give it the rest of the jar.
Now that's a healthy plant.
I can't wait to see the look on the Queen's face when she sees it.
No kidding. This plant is the crowning touch in a royal room.
You know, even our Queen needs help sometimes to give her throne hall that truly majestic call.
We have provided the very plant. Think of it as a net to hook in the royal set.
We're talking cover girl. Oh yeah, on the cover of Better Palaces and Gardens magazine. We both know she wants it so much, and we gave her the crowning touch.
Every kingdom will want one right away.
The plant we brought here today, a little food, it's on its way. We're talking cover story. Oh Oh yeah, the cover story of Better Palaces and Gardens magazine. We both know she wants it so much.
And we gave it that special touch.
The crowning touch.
Prune roses, mop floors, dust furniture, wash dishes. Stop looking over my shoulder, Rabbit. Your whiskers tickle. Trim edges. Oh, stop that, I said. How can I think if you're... Good gracious, it's a jungle in here.
It's the Twiny Vine. But how did it get so big?
I don't know, but I can't let the magazine photographer see this.
Maybe he won't notice.
I'm calling the Hatter. He was supposed to be plant sitting. Hello, Hatter? This Twiny Vine has turned into the plant that ate Wonderland. Why is it here, and what did you do to it?
Your Majesty, may I be perfectly honest with you?
What are you going to tell me if I say no?
Now, don't be fussy. We watered the vine, then handed it over to the Tweedles.
What? Oh, you gave it water? Can't you follow instructions? Oh. Hello, Tweedledum?
Uh-huh.
What did you do to this plant? It's huge, gigantic, monstrous.
She loves it. We gave it plant food. Why?
Plant food? Didn't anyone read the instructions? And why did you put it in my palace?
Well, we can't take credit for that. It was really the cat's idea.
The cat! I should have known. Oh.
Hi, this is the Cheshire Cat. I'm not home right now, but leave a message after the meow, and I'll call you back when I reappear. Oh, and if this is the Queen, I hope you'll reconsider letting me be in that picture.
Oh, drat that cat! Oh, he did this just because I would let him be in the magazine photo with me. Oh, you two keep trying to prune. I'll talk to the caterpillar. Maybe he knows how to make vicious vegetation vanish. Oh. I'm telling you, Caterpillar, it's awful. My throne room looks like a scene from a bad jungle movie.
Actually, I've always thought your palace needed a bit of greenery. I mean, it's so red in there. Anyway, I have a story here which may be of some help to you. Once there was a sheep named Shirley who lived with her sisters in a big pasture. Shirley was always bored. Our flock never goes anywhere, she complained. Then one day, Shirley saw an ad in the paper. The famous rock group Uriah Sheep was giving a concert on a nearby farm. Let's go, Shirley said to her sisters. Off they went, ready to have a wild and woolly time. Wait, Shirley's sisters said. Shouldn't we bring a map? Nah, said Shirley. I can find the way. So they left home. They drove and drove and drove. Shirley's sisters were getting worried. Shouldn't we stop to ask directions, they wondered? But Shirley refused to admit that she was a little lost sheep. And finally, the car ran out of gas. Shirley felt sheepish. Not only had they missed the concert, but Little Bo Peep charged them a lot of money to find them and bring them home.
Sheep? Phooey! My trouble is problem plants, not lost livestock.
The point is, the sheep should have asked for directions.
Wait! So you're saying since directions can mean the same as instructions, If we read the instruction book that came with the plant, we might be able to find out how to cut it down to size.
That's about the size of it here.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so earlier? Good grief. I asked for some simple advice and end up listening to sheep stories until the cows come home. Oh,
Beautiful! Like that! Gorgeous! Now, petals! I want to see petals!
Excuse me, but are you from Better Palaces and Gardens?
Take 5, everyone! Excuse me, dearie, but we are working here. Now, I don't know who you think you are.
I'm the queen.
Oh, of course you. And may I say, my compliments on your garden. Oh, Bobby Shutterbug's the name. Gorgeous. Now, Queenie, here's the plan. I'm going to shoot a few more pictures out here in the garden and then head into the palace.
Into the palace? Oh, no way. I mean, not yet. I want to go in first to make sure everything is just right.
Gorgeous! Gotcha, Your Majesty. I won't move. I am rooted to the spot.
Rabbit! Alice, you need to read the instructions.
Go ahead, Mr. Rabbit.
Rule number 137. If you have been foolish enough to ignore rules number 1 through 136, simply give the twiny vine a dose of degrow. Let's show Her Majesty Alice.
Degrow? What does it do?
Well, Your Majesty, D is a prefix meaning reverse or go back. So degrow should make this plant go back to the size it was before. We hope.
Outside. Oh. Mr. Shutterbug, you may come in now. Wait, you didn't take any pictures.
Well, look, I love the room. I really do, but it's just not quite right for our magazine. You see, Queen, green is in this year. Now, if you had some exotic plants, well, like that little one over there beside the throne, only a lot bigger, well, then maybe you would have a chance. Sorry.
Actually, could you wait outside for just a moment? The room wasn't quite ready. We've got to pull that plant again.
How? We could feed it, but we're out of plant food.
Have no fear. Have no fear. You see, just in case we gave the plant too much degrow and the twiny vine got too small, I also bought this.
Regrow?
Yes, you see, is a prefix meaning again. So regrow should make the plant sprout.
Say the language lesson. Just use it.
Oh, yes. Here, Alice. Oh. I wonder if that stuff works on carrots.
Yoo-hoo! Mr. Shutterbug!
Oh, I love it! What a look! It's exotic. It's in. It's green!
So will my palace make the cover of your magazine or not?
Oh, no doubt about it. Matter of fact, I'd love to meet your decorator.
Oh, well, actually, I've always had a flair for this sort of...
Who needs a decorator? I just simply follow my sense of good taste.
While we follow the instructions.
No need to call the decorator, 'cause I'm a royal innovator. From castles made of sand to all of Wonderland.
She's got that special regal flair for knowing what looks fine.
This glamour, grace, and plain good taste of my imperial design.
Nothing ever flashy, nothing too abstract.
It's a matter of taste, as a matter of fact. Elegance is part of me. Just look around and you will see that tacky and I do not mix. It's a blend which I was born to fix. And when it comes to plants, I prefer
pour them extra green. Just another tip from your artistic culture queen.
She's got that special wriggle flair for knowing what looks fine.
This glamour, grace, and plain good taste by Imperial Design.
Nothing ever flashy, nothing too abstract.
It's a matter of taste, as a matter of fact.
Gorgeous! Oh, don't ever redecorate. This room is divine.
Yes, it will be divine once it's divined. Once he goes, get out the degrow.
Hi, Dinah. You know, I've been thinking about this book on exotic animals. And I decided I really wouldn't want a parrot or a snake for a pet anyway. Exotic creatures wouldn't be happy living in a house. And besides, I'd rather pet you than a python any day.